another lovely Tuesday, and you're right here tuned to Invicta 98.9 FM. It's time for us to look at some topical issues in the polity, and most especially how we can make life a little bit better for us by the way we live, by the way we are governed, and of course by the way we contribute to the process of governance itself in Nigeria. I am Ehis Ador, and the program is Ground Zero, right here on Invicta 98.9 FM. Today's edition is a special one because we will be concentrated on open contracting in Kaduna State, and this is coming to you courtesy of Budeshi Radio, and it is on open contracting. I have a guest on the program today that together we'll be looking at issues around open contracting and procurement and all of that. They'll definitely give you some very good explanations on how you, of course, as a citizen, can be part of the whole process. My guest today on the program, first I have architect Mohammed Suleiman of the Kaduna State Public Procurement Authority, KADPPA. KADPPA. Architect, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
I also have with me on the program Dangwa Martins, Danjuma of the Coalition of Association for Leadership, Peace, Empowerment and Development, CALDEP. Dangwa, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
All right. Okay, and like you know, you can be a part of the program. Comment to whatever we'll be talking about. You can also put in your questions, and the guests in the studio will do justice to them. You can go to the Invicta FM Twitter handle, which is at Invicta FM 989, and the post is there. Just drop your comment, or you go to the Ground Zero Twitter handle. This one is a program-specific Twitter handle, and it is at Ground 0989. At Ground 0989. And once you do that, you will definitely be part of what we are talking about today. And not forgetting too that you can listen to the live stream of the program at www.invictafm.ng, or you download the Invicta FM app from Google Play Store and just listen to us from anywhere in the world. You can also watch the live stream on Invicta FM Facebook at Invicta FM Kaduna. That's Invicta FM Kaduna. You see the video stream of what we are doing right now, and you can be a part of the program. So, this week, like I said, is a special one, and we'll be looking at these specific issues that helps in strengthening the governance process. And we know that procurement and all of that, contracts and every other thing, these are things that people hold there because most of the time they complain that people don't know how these monies are spent or what these monies are used for or who disburses this money or how to even be a part of the process. Yeah. And that often than not always would cause friction between the citizens and the leaders. And with this program today, I am sure we will be able to shed more light on some of these issues and items. So, without taking too much time, we would like to know, first of all, what role procurement plays in governance and why it is important. I am directing that question specifically to architect Suleiman Mohammed.
Thank you once more. If I get the question right, what we are saying is the role played by procurement,
yes,
and the importance of it to the citizens of government.
Yes.
So actually, it plays a very, very key role because procurement, as defined in the simple term, is the buyings and doings of government. Government buy things and to have or to execute their programs or to achieve what they have promised to the people.
Okay.
All this is done through procurement.
Okay.
And they are in various categories or types. They buy goods, they construct roads, schools, bridges, they even buy services by intellectuals to help them execute certain things. The capacity is not within the government. So the essential procurement method or what government does is goods, works, and services.
Okay. Broadly, procurement covers anything that goods or services that the government needs, and they need a contractor or someone to supply it or render that service to them. That's what procurement is.
Yes.
Okay, okay, okay. Now, procurement itself, what is the process and procedure of what even leads to all of this? Because I know there are guiding laws and rules and regulations surrounding all of this.
Buyings and by the government is governed by what is called the KADUNA Public Procurement Law, passed in 2016. So all the framework or the activities of doing it from beginning to the end is governed by that law. And then the law empowers the authority who is in charge of that law, KADUNA Public Procurement Authority, to produce what is called a guideline. So this guideline, KADUNA Public Procurement Guidelines, give a step-by-step procedure or processes of doing that procurement, whether it is for goods, for works, or for services. This is how we are the agencies involved, there's the MDAs, the local government, and
Kaduna State. When we say Kaduna State, we are talking about the legislative arm, the judiciary, the, the executive arm, even the local government councils. They cannot do procurement without adhering to very strict guidelines that they must comply with. And this law has empowered KADPPA to be that single authority that has an inventory of all the procurements in Kaduna State. Prove that it is suitable. They approve that that it is there is no objection. Go and implement this, and then they approve all of the steps, every step of the way that a particular procurement entity or ministry, department or agency of government will take must be with the approvals of KADPPA and in compliance with the guidelines. Now, this is actually something new. It is new in the sense that there is a centralization now of the procurement inventory, not really the procurement itself, because the ministries, department, and agencies still perform the functions of awarding the project, but KADPPA validates that yes, this has been completed in accordance to the standards that were availed even in the procurement documents.
Okay.
Now, the moment that is done, then they give the certificate approving that yes, you have completed your project. So it is actually something that is happening because of the kind of legislation that the KADPPA law provides. It has really empowered the institution to do more than what it was when we were having the budget implementation monitoring pricing monitoring law of 2007, the law number 5 of 2007. This law in 2016 have really given the authority more teeth to be able to put together the proper procurement process in Kaduna State. And it was actually as a result of the promise that the governor had made about ensuring that there will be probity, there will be good value for money for citizens, and those things are actually what we are seeing at play.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me come back to Architect Suleiman. I'll just take you back a little bit. Now, you've told us about the Public Procurement Act law.
Yeah.
Now, can you give us some insights into the key things that the citizens specifically need to know about this? Because until they know what role they need to play in all of this process, they really can't be part of the process. And we also know that many Nigerians are very poor when it comes to reading things. But of course, they can listen and get to understand. Maybe you shed more light on what the citizens would need to know about all of this.
So, as we said, as the name goes, it's a public procurement law, just by the word law, which means a technical document.
Yeah.
However, KADPPA is doing all it takes to ensure that the layman in the market understand what it's all about, as we are now saying, through this kind of fora.
Yeah.
So essentially, the law gives there's a key component of procurement, internationally recognized, and this is competition, fairness, transparency, and value for money. So in all these four activities, it's easy if you simplify and disseminate and engage people for them to partake or key into it.
Yeah.
So if we say competition, it means having people to compete in the execution of project within their domain. That's if you are in Kaduna State or you are in any other state or in Nigeria. So this is all about the competition. So the competition aspect ensures that anybody can key in as long as you abide by certain criteria laid down in the law. So you can take part in executing projects in Kaduna State.
Okay.
So that gives bite to the competitive part of the law aspect. If you come to transparency, the law now ensures that all procurement of Kaduna State should be transparent. As you say, so people should be aware of it so that they can take part or not is their choice. So, and this part, KADPPA is able to disseminate this by the help of some donor agencies and the government itself. Like this particular program, it was sponsored by the donor agency and it's part of the transparency we're talking about. It's opening the contracting process from beginning to end for people to know what is happening and they can key in, they can ask questions, they can contribute and so on and so forth.
Okay.
So, and the fairness is to ensure that things are done right. Not only done, but they should be done right. Is it the right price? Is it the right place to do the project? Is it done by the right people? So these are the rightness of it. Once these are achieved, then it's fair. So now people will key in to ensure this is done. If the contract is given and people feel it's not given to the right person, they can question it. So steps will be taken to correct it. If the project is not done in the right place, they can question it. If the price of the project is not correct, people should also question it. So this is about the fairness. So it's being fair to, and then when somebody is wrong, either the contractor or the consultant, he has done something that is not paid well, he can complain to ensure he has fair, or the government is cheated. For a project that government should pay 2 naira, is paying 5 naira, the people should cry out. So this is about the fairness.
Okay.
Then when you combine the three, then they will give government value for money. Once the three are done the right way, then you have value for money for the government.
Okay. In the case of Kaduna State now, where we are, when any of these issues comes up, who do they cry to KADPPA or to the government or to which?
Yeah, the law have also taken care of this. So both in the law and in the guidelines, there are steps to be taken to address all these problems issue. So if there's an issue and people feel aggrieved and they want to address it they want the issue to be addressed by government. So first, you look at what part of the procurement you have an issue with. So let's give an example. We have a primary school that is being built in your locality.
Yeah.
And you have an issue with it. Probably you feel it's not done well, the quality or whatever is not correct. So the first door you have to knock is those in charge. So the people in charge is the school. Supposing we have a project, a construction of primary school in LEA primary school. What's the name of this area? Barnawa. So LEA Barnawa, there's a primary school being constructed, and I feel it's not done well. So I will go to the school and put my complaint to the school headmaster, who is now in charge or the client for the government.
Okay.
So that these are my complaints. So if within 3 days or 1 week I do not get response from the principal to address that issue, then the next point of call is the ministry in charge of that school, which is Ministry of Education.
Okay.
So you should put your complaint there. So after 3 days or 1 week you do not get response, then the law says you should move to KADPPA. We have been given our addresses, our telephone numbers, our emails. You can approach us anyhow. You can go physically, you can send a letter, you can call us on phone. These are your issues. And then you copied us all those steps you have taken.
So you have the opportunity now of telling them those places how they can get across to you.
Yes, as I've said, we have email.
What's
address.
the email?
So it's kadppa.kdsg.gov.ng.
Okay, KADPPA.
.kdsg.
That's KADPPA.kdsg.gov.ng.
Yes, just email us anytime of the day. We are going to receive your mail and address and respond to you.
Okay, I'm sure for you listening in, and you have an issue with the way a particular job by the government is executed in your neighborhood, and you really want to complain about it, you can do that by sending an email to I need to get this email right.
KADPPA.
KADPPA.
KADPPA dot
KDSG
dot
gov.ng. Okay, that's the website.
Yes.
Okay, they'll go there, they'll find the email or the link to complain.
Yes.
Click on it,
Yes.
drop your complaint,
and then we will check. Yes.
all right. Yes, you're still listening to Ground Zero, and today we are looking at the open contracting in Kaduna State, as brought to you by Budeshi Radio. Okay, and my guest today is architect Suleiman Mohammed of the Kaduna State Public Procurement Authority, that's KADPPA, and Danjuma Abbas Martins of the Coalition of Associations for Leadership, Peace, Empowerment and Development, CALPED. Okay, coming back to Danjuma. Now, he has told us the process of the process of those that intends to do a job for the government or render a service to the government, and the roles that the citizens can play in all of these. Now, as someone coming from the CSO, would you say that the citizens have been playing this role, and or are the citizens even
the culvert box that is just by their roadside can actually be the reason why they have to pack and leave this neighborhood in time to come. So that level of consciousness, that level of awareness has been very, very low. Citizens are not taking into cognizance that they are receiving a budget, what is the implementation process, and this procurement that we're talking about is the implementation process. And the moment government is putting in money in a particular project, and you have looked away from it, treating it as if it's a bush animal, eventually, again, it doesn't belong to you because you may not be seeing it there sooner than later. There are a lot of constructions that have happened over the years past that if you go there now, I can refer you to some of the roads. When you go now, you cannot see the evidence that an asphalt was laid here, years ago. There is one by the Juji and one Balde Road in Sabah, for instance. The Halima Junction to High Coast Road in Amazon. These are places where the constructions took place, but today, because of the fact that probably the drainages were not done according to standards, or the citizens themselves decided to turn their drainages into a refuse dump, the road has dilapidated, and that is what has happened. And that is just because citizens did not take ownership of what government has actually availed to them.
Okay, now let's come back to architect Suleiman Mohammed, and let's look at are there tools and ways that KADPPA is using technology to improve its procurement process so that it can serve the citizens better?
Yes, this is a key question. Actually, KADPPA is migrating to what is called e-procurement.
Okay.
It is technology-based procurement base, and collectively they are helping to assist KADPPA to ensure technology-based procurement method monitoring and processing.
Okay.
Yes.
Martins, he talked about these technology-based processes. How involved or how active would you say the citizens are with using these technologies to engage with them?
Well, like we have rightly said, the awareness level is actually low. So citizens have been successful in time past. They are the ones who have attempted to make use of them, have been able to access. They've been able to access data about where a project is within kilometers around them. They have been able to access that is by geolocation. It can actually direct you, give you the address, take you by map to identify that particular project site. Now, the idea is that you follow that, you are able to access, okay, this is the procurement that the government is doing here, and look at the standards for yourself, take pictures and upload. Now, there are success stories around that for people who have been able to use it. But again, there have also been, as a result of that use, if you don't use it, you don't really get to know what is wrong with it. So that level of usage at that time had prompted the need for some particular reworkings, especially around the eyes and ears app. The big one is the Kaduna Open Contracting Portal.
Okay.
Because the eyes and ears app only provides you with the location of a project, the name of the project, uh, the probably the name of the contractor doing the project. But what you have on the open contracting portal is much more because government has committed to bringing out nearly all the data that there is around open contracting, all that the law, permits them to actually make public. Government has committed to doing that. Now you get to know what kind of bidding process was it that qualified this contractor. You get to know now what was the justification even for the needs assessment. That is, the planning of the project itself will be hosted on the portal. The award of the project will be placed on the portal. The details about the amount of for the project will be displayed on the portal. And government has also made commitments to also make available disclosures about payments. Now, you see, the last time government presented that to citizens in Kaduna, it was about 24 sets of data. Now that is actually large. Now you see, whenever you actually will get to lay your hands on something like this, you can easily take the initiative to begin to monitor procurement around you. So for the open contracting portal, that's the big one. Like I said, and it is coming quite. It can be sooner, I would say, because based on the action plan on the OGP, is something that Kaduna State government uh, is supposed to deliver upon by March 2019.
Okay.
So we are having it coming even towards now, and it's not so bad because we are aware of the efforts that government has been making around it. The portal was actually hosted on the KADPPA website that Architect Suleiman had given earlier. But at that time, it was just being tested, and it's not so populated with all the data that citizens need right now. But it is something that government has shown commitment that they are going to do, and that commitment has actually been translated into much action. And so on our part as citizens, I will say that that is the real big thing that citizens are waiting for. As soon as that is implemented, I am sure it's going to be quite easy, because the distance between government and the people is going to really be bridged by that portal. It is not easy to tell a citizen to go to a particular ministry and ask for information. You might even think that somebody who doesn't like his face might ask a security man to chase him out of this place and all that. So we understand all of those complexities, but as soon as the portal is actually good to go, I think that will be the biggest story about procurement in Northwest Africa.
All right, you're still listening to Ground Zero right here on Invicta 98.9, and today our focus is on open contracting. It's coming to you courtesy of Budeshi Radio, and my guest, Architect Suleiman Mohammed of the Kaduna State Public Procurement Authority, and of course, Martins Dangwa Abbas Danjuma, whichever sequence you hear the name, is the same person from CALDEP, and they've been enlightening us. Just to let you know that very soon we'll open up our lines, so that if you have questions that you want to ask, we have the people here to answer you. And I'm sure that you also know that you can go to our various social media handles and also drop your comments, ask your questions, or generally contribute to what we are talking about on the program this evening. Now, before we get to take the calls, I'd like you to walk me through the process that you generally take or follow when monitoring a government project? Just walk me through the process from your own perspective
Yeah,
now.
okay. Well, okay, what we do, the first thing we really need to have is the details of the procurement. When we see a construction ongoing and we see work happening and we don't see that signage, we begin to ask questions. First, in that kind of instance, the first point of call is KADPPA. KADPPA, we see a procurement happening at so location. We don't know who is doing it. Can you give us information about this? And now they get to tell us whether it is the state government that is owning that project or is the local government that is owning that project. We get to have that information. And then we also get to know who is the implementing institution. But there are other instances, however, where we're able to access procurement details like that from the implementing ministry directly, and then we follow through at the local level. Now, what happens in most of these instances is that we go to the place, we meet with the people who are actually within the host community, we sit and we discuss with them about the details concerning the work ongoing in their community. Now, in most instances, you will find that uh, people did not know that they could actually enter the place and even get to see what is ongoing. They just keep passing by the road while the job is ongoing.
Yeah.
Now, by the time we come in, we do that. We snap pictures. We sometimes we share, we upload, and sometimes we don't. Because the reason why we may not upload or share sometimes is because we need to have more information, like what is the name of the procurement. It has to have a name. It also needs to have some, for instance, amount and all that. So the moment we have all of these records put together, we go back to the community again and sensitize them on their roles and their duty. Now, the idea is that I for one feel that if I should be the one to follow through, report, and do the final reporting, it doesn't give the people who are actually supposed to own this project that sense of ownership. So the most important thing for us, for me as a civil society person, is to build the capacity of the people to be able to monitor the project implementation within their community. So that is how we actually do. And then if there are any discrepancies about the standard or the quality, what we do usually is to meet with the implementing ministry directly. We go to the implementing ministry because that is as a result of the fact that we got to realize that the people who are even managing the who are supposed to be custodians of the facilities themselves,
Yeah.
in some instances, don't know what the contractor is here to do. They just see him come and go. They see somebody come from government. They don't even know. He just comes to inspect, and he comes. He has the paper with him. He checks and he goes. And he doesn't. The person who is even managing the property doesn't even know that he's supposed to have a copy of the bill of quantity, for instance.
Yeah.
So in such instances, we just move straight to the implementing ministry, ask questions. This is what we have found. This is how we feel about it, and seek a redress. And the moment they call the attention of the contractor, you see things begin to change at site. There, however, have been cases where the contractor turns stubborn, adamant. I have connections. I can. He wants to bully everybody around. Some contractors will even tell you that they can call the governor right now and just that kind of boast and dropping names, and then the moment you take it to KADPPA, all of those balloon, everything, all the air just collapses, because they now call the contractor to a meeting together with the host community, in most cases, and then the issue is resolved and the contractor is tasked to go back and do what is right.
All right. 081 40989 and 070 are the numbers to dial if you want to ask my guest any question. Today we are talking about open contracting, and I have architect Suleiman Mohammed from the Kaduna State Public Procurement Authority, and also I have Danjuma Martin Sabas with me, and he is from CAPED. We have our first caller. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. You're welcome to Ground Zero.
Okay, thank you very much.
What's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Mark. I'm calling from Narai.
Okay, Mark from Narai.
Yes.
All right, let's have you.
I've been trying to access the KADPPA website. That's the open contracting website. That's KADPPA.kdsc.gov.ng.
Okay.
If you look at that site, for example, if you click on the open contracting button,
Yeah.
the open contracting portal, for example, doesn't open.
It doesn't open.
Yes, the part is also taking the open contracting portal doesn't open. It keeps showing error message. Then the awarded contract. What I've noticed about the awarded contract is that currently we only have awarded contract till December 19, 2018 on the portal.
Okay.
And what this means is that no awarded contract has been uploaded on this portal for 2019, and we're already 3 months away from the end of the year.
Yeah.
And on the awarded contract, what you notice is you have the section. Okay, I tried downloading that of 2018. And what I can see, section is award criteria, contract period, DOQ, date of award, date of signing, commencement date, final date of completion, name of contractor, address of contractor, telephone number, email, project, photograph, project funding, and project tracking.
That's under which tab now?
When you download the list of contracts.
Okay.
There is a tab called open contracting.
Yes, open contracting. I have there. There is
open contracting portal and there's
awarded
contract.
Yes. I have clicked on it now.
Click on awarded contract.
Yes.
You see the awarded contract have been uploaded. The last one was December 19, 2018. That's the last one on that portal there. And when you download it, you don't have any information showing what type of contract was that for the construction of it. What you don't see is just the details of the contract. It doesn't tell you what the contract was about. Is it construction of food? Is it for the primary healthcare center? Is it construction of food?
Okay.
On that document. So if, for example, I take on the document, how then do I track it when I don't even know what it's about?
Okay.
So
How?
that's one aspect
Yeah.
I would want them to work on. And for the tender,
Yeah.
in as much as we have the tendering process here, the question I want to ask, has there been no project that has been awarded in 2019 by the KADUNA state government?
Okay.
1. 2. If there have been projects that have been awarded, monitoring needs to be real time. And if it's real time, we need this information real time. So we need to up our game on uploading information on the portal. Else, the portal might just be an afterthought, because if after implementation, that's when I can access the document, then it might not be of too much importance for having the portal in the first place.
Okay.
That's my question.
Thank you so much, Mark. I am sure we'll provide answers to that. Let's take this other call before we answer him. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Ground Zero.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening. You're welcome to the program. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Yeah, my name is Comrade Gabriel Danjuma.
Okay, Comrade Gabriel.
Yeah, so let me congratulate and thank Invita, because most of the things they are discussing there, I think we, Wakawaka Ambassador, we have been doing part of it through our coordinator, Imas and Nambaju, because we need to monitor some of these projects and come back to them.
Yeah.
Secondly, I want to know whether these people in the job, this waste disposal, whether they is under contract or directly employed by the state government.
Waste
If
disposal.
If it is under contract, that means they need to wake up, because most of the area they are disposing their waste, there's no containers. I don't know whether that was not part of the agreement. If that was part of the agreement, waste supposed to be in containers, not to throw them on the road, just as what happened around Sabo Market and other areas. So I think they should properly look into that. If it's contract, the contractor needs to wake up. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Comrade Gabriel. All right, 081 40,989. Let's take one more call. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Ground Zero. Hello. Okay. Let's attend to this, then we'll take some more questions before we. The first one is coming from Mark. He's in Narai, and you had his concerns and reservations. What would be your reactions to his concerns?
Yeah, no, I think Mark is commendable. But you go in, there is the OCDS standard format also, which is we presume is too technical for people, so we provided this table you have seen, the summary table for laymen to see. You can just click on the project in your area, you can just call his telephone number and ask him question on that project, the location of the project, the money being paid, the amount being spent by government on it, and the level of the construction of that project.
All right.
Yes.
Let's look at the second caller, Comrade Gabriel. He was talking about waste disposal contractors in Kaduna, and if they are not part of this process.
So as you said, they are all part of this process, and they have been supervised, or the contract was given by a particular ministry, and been supervised by the ministry, and so on. So if there's issues as he has raised, all he need to do is, as we have explained in the beginning, there are processes of laying his complaint. So yes, check the ministry environment, that you should fall under Ministry of Environment. Make a petition to them. This is what you observe in your area. You want to know why. Then, if they did not answer in, as I've said, within 3 to 7 days, you should now write to KADPPA. And definitely, yes. If he's not able to do it alone, he can tag with any of the NGOs or civil society people who are already used to doing this. I'm sure they will assist him in seeing that his concern reaches KADPPA and is addressed.
All right.
Yes.
081 40,989 is the number to dial, and you can also call 070 878 00989. That's 081 40,989 and 070 878 00989. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Ground Zero.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
I'm sorry, it's still Mark. Sorry, I just need to get something straight.
All right.
Yeah. He talked about that when you click a button, it opens 40 other items. Which button is that? How do we connect to
Yeah, Mr. Mark, what I said is we are having challenges, but the challenge has been resolved. So by next week, as I've said, hopefully before the end of the month, this our e-procurement portal you have opened will be fully functional. To the extent that now whatever you are looking for, if you click, in fact, it has been changed to a more user-friendly nature that you don't need to ask anybody to go through it. Like the particular place you are, if you have any project, you just click on. If the project is done by state government or local government, you see it. Whatever ministry, you see it, and the name of the project, the location, the funds, as I've said, all information pertaining to that is available.
All right. Mark, I hope he's been able to answer you.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Mark. Hello. Good evening. Welcome to Ground Zero. Hello. Okay, we have another caller here. Hello.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Welcome to Ground Zero. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Yusuf.
All right, Yusuf.
Yes. First of all, I want to commend the architect. I think KADPPA is one of the most proactive and open agency of the present government, because we engage them and they always open their doors for us. And secondly, I want to ask a question that has the A and B. The main question is that how are they tracking procurement and approval threshold by the various MDAs and even local government? Because we know that for every arm of government, they have a threshold that you can award contract. So there is a mechanism from the authority that is tracking that. And secondly, for agents, MDAs that citizens engage and we ask for procurement plan, are we entitled to it? And if yes, when we request and they refuse, should we come to KADPPA to get the procurement plan, or would KADPPA on our behalf intervene? So that's my question. Thank you.
All right, so architect.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Godi. So the first question, yes, there is a tracking device, and as you rightly said, your second question is on the tracking device, which is the procurement plan. So each procuring entity, that's each ministry or agency or local government, send to KADPPA what is called its own procurement plan for the year. So in that procurement plan, that threshold is there. So KADPPA will approve the procurement methods, the procurement itself, the threshold, and all other things, and they will guide them. So if they are going above their threshold, they will tell them, and so on and so forth. So the issue of threshold is being regulated and followed and by KADPPA. So we don't have issues there. But if you have seen any issue that has to do with that, probably an agency or a local government awarding contract above its threshold, also you can blow the whistle by complaining to KADPPA or to supervising authority in case of local government or the ministry. And at the end, it will reach KADPPA and definitely action will be taken. But I'm sure they can't go outside the procurement plan. No ministry or local government will do procurement outside the procurement plan approved for it. So for your second question, if you approach any ministry or local government to avail you with their procurement plan for the year, and you find resistance or somehow there is no interface between you, if you report them to KADPPA, we will now ask them, will intervene on your behalf. I'm sure they will avail you to that. It's not an open secret that Kaduna State has signed into what is called the Open Government Partnership, which is a commendable feat. And Kaduna State is not only a sub-national, have graduated to equal the country. Their performance in that area is almost equal to that of Nigeria. We recognize for openness. So yes, so any agency, as far as procurement is concerned, they will avail with any information on procurement that you request. If you don't have them, you can get in touch with KADPPA and we intercede on your behalf.
All right, you've heard it. KADPPA is there at your service. You can always get across to them and they will attend to you. Well, we do not have much time on our hands. We'll just give opportunities for your final words on the program before we go. I'll start from you, Architect Suleiman Mohammed.
Yes, my final word is that we thank all these NGOs and donors that are providing such opportunities, because the main issue is about sensitization, as my colleagues have already said. We intend to do more of this. We are doing it in other radio programs, but we hopefully think this will also continue for a long time. So it's through this forum that we'll be able to get out to people, to sensitize them about the law and the guideline and how procurement is done, about the open contracting and open government partnership activities on contracting. So we reach out to more people, and then we see how they get key in and engage and take over and take ownership on procurement processes by the government.
All right. And Martins?
Well, I want to thank Mr. Mark for calling and for also going on the website to check and verify that these things that we're talking about is as we are saying or are not. And this is the kind of zeal and commitment that it takes to make Nigeria better. If citizens will continue to allow information about procurement become the exclusive reserve of people in government, they are unable to even help the people over there. For instance, there is a limitation in the number of people the government have to monitor procurement across the state. But when citizens are involved in the process, they provide to government the very information that government is also going out to get. And it is by this kind of process, they are also able to help government serve them better. So to the citizens of Kaduna, so far on open contracting, I will say that government is taking the lead. Even without the portal being up, you've heard Architect Suleiman tell you that if you want information, you write to the implementing ministry. If they do not provide you with that information, you can write to KADPPA. And so we are telling you because we have also done the same thing in time past, and we have gotten results, and we want you to do same, because you cannot complain that the system is not working if you are not engaging the system. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Martins. You've heard it. If you go to sleep, government will definitely go to sleep. So there's an opportunity for you to be a part of the process. And you've had it today, and it's been nice knowing that there are tools that people can use